The way to 8044 Annetta Road isn't marked with bright lights and flashing arrows. Rather, it's a narrow, unassuming country lane lined with trees and fields. But if you turn through those gates, you'll find yourself in the company of generations of United Methodists who have seen their lives transformed at a place called Loucon.
I mean, whether you're just coming in and you find something special here and you decide to stay, or I was talking to somebody yesterday who they were my great-grandma came here, my grandma came here, I'm here. We have 3 generations of us loving Loucon. I look at the buildings and I think if I have so many memories here of in the lodges or in the worship spaces, if I have so many memories for myself of where God has moved in my life and I've seen God move, and how many infinitely more memories are there and things have happened in this very place.
Loucon is special. You may have met your best friend there, or perhaps your spouse. You may have learned to sing or hike or build a campfire. You may have given up your summer to volunteer or be a part of summer staff, working the toughest job you ever loved. Or maybe, like so many campers, Loucon is where you first became aware of God's love for you or first professed Jesus as Lord. And if you're like many people, the connections you made at Loucon stay with you throughout your life.
I didn't know a lot of Loucon traditions when I first showed up at camp, but it didn't take me long to learn. Almost every time I go out into a restaurant in town wearing a Loucon shirt, somebody says, "Oh, Loucon, I remember that from," and then fill in the blank. It's great to hear how many people have such vivid memories of Loucon, because it also tells us how many people really care about its future.
For generations of Kentucky United Methodists, Loucon has been a place set apart for fun and friendship, for recovering strength, and reconnecting with God. It's in that spirit that Loucon presses forward, helping young people create healthy friendships and make lasting memories. Nowhere is that more evident than in summer camp.
Seeing campers become a community one another, because at first when they come in, they a little shy, but then Wednesday and Thursday, they besties in 3 days, and I just think that is so cool how Loucon can make new friends.
Here at Loucon, one of our biggest focuses is community. We believe everyone has a place and a part to play at camp. We strive to create a safe space for all, and a community that every single person can be a part of. We try to show people how and what tools they can use to be God-centered, not only at camp, but in their own lives, to build their foundation and point everything back to Christ. We're growth-focused. We focus on physical, emotional, and spiritual growth, and we try to push campers past their comfort zones into their stretch zones and grow past limitations that they've put on themselves and the worldly limitations that have been put on them. Part of that growth is camper discipleship. We try to plant seeds and a strong foundation in each camper that they can use throughout the rest of their life.
Summer camp is not just transformative for campers, though. Each year, Loucon employs 35 to 40 people to serve as counselors, adventure staff, and support personnel. These young adults experience authentic Christian community, even as they do work to serve campers and adult volunteers. Both current and former staffers often talk about their work experience at Loucon as a key to their adult discipleship.
Camp Loucon is just a place where truly everyone is accepted exactly as they are. For me, this is the first place where I truly felt that. And it changed who I am as a person, and I think anybody who comes through the gates gets that. You are guaranteed to be loved here, no matter who you are. And that's just not everywhere in the world.
You're going to be in a place that is always pointing you to Christ. You're going to be in an environment that is always reaching you where you are, and you're going to be in a place that fosters growth rooted in Scripture. Loucon is also a place where lots of kids remember all of the cool things here at camp, like the zip line and rock climbing. But the reason they remember it is because of the way that they got out of their comfort zone and growth that they achieved while doing it. Those are the things that I remember most about my time here at camp as well.
Camp Loucon is home. It's a place where you feel very loved and very supported by staff members. I know I did when growing up, and that's what I love about camp is that's what staff really built into, is just loving our campers and loving our staff, and just making sure this place feels home.
Like any home, however, Loucon needs constant attention from staff and supporters to make sure guests are safe, comfortable, and equipped to grow. The Loucon Committee is the group of volunteers charged by the Kentucky Annual Conference with stewarding camp's ministry by praying, giving, and telling the story of Loucon's continued work.
Loucon is one of my favorite places on earth. It was my first job, really, where I kind of stepped out as a Christian leader.
To kind of lead kids through those activities and think about how much it changed my life and maybe having that impact on campers as a staff member.
And it's been a joy on this side of things to keep going back and to serve as a counselor with my husband, Matt, who I also met on staff at Camp Loucon.
I'm a father now, and I have kids that are 3 and 6, and I'm so excited as they get to the age of being campers and what camp could mean to them.
And to introduce him to this place that has been so near and dear to our hearts, to our call to ministry as a family, to a place that truly feels like home.
And then as I'm a part of the Loucon committee, I can tell you there's a lot of exciting things going on. We have so much energy. We have about 12 of us on the committee and work with the camp director and the permanent camp staff to kind of think about the future and all the kind of amazing things that could come.
And I'm really excited for the ministry of Camp and Retreat to continue there. And my husband and I are both signed up to Dean this summer. So we just are so excited for all that's to come at Camp Loucon.
Over the past year, the Loucon committee and staff have worked hard to serve campers and guests better. With the help of local volunteers and the Methodist Nomads, Loucon has worked to improve landscaping, rebuild wheelchair ramps, and remodel historic spaces like the canteen and Reynolds cabin area. This spring, thanks to a grant from Owensboro Health, volunteers remodeled Rose Cottage, turning one of camp's oldest buildings into a more centrally located nurses' station. With all that's been done, however, there's still more to do. So far, according to Director Eric Van Meter, God has provided the resources needed for Loucon to thrive.
Most of our income from Loucon comes from retreat and camping fees, but what really gives us the ability to go above and beyond for our guests are the donations that we get from the annual conference, from local churches, from individuals and community partners. It makes such a difference to know that every month people are giving to Loucon and praying for Loucon so that we can show everyone that comes into our gates the love of Christ in the hospitality that we offer. When you give to Loucon, it's not an expense, it's an investment, because the work that we do instilling the good news of Jesus in people, especially our young campers, pays off for years and years and years to come.
This year, Loucon is poised to grow in the number of retreat groups and campers. Before the year is out, more than 5,000 people will have come to encounter God in this special setting.
Here I am to say that you're my God. 'Cause I was walking around in circles, going 5 miles an hour.
When the founders of Loucon cleared the way 73 years ago, they could not see all that the camp would eventually become. Many have long since joined the church triumphant, but their legacy remains alive and well in those that Loucon still serves. The way Christians travel the road to Loucon has changed since the camp was founded. We drive different cars, sing different songs, wear different fashions, use different technology, live in different spaces. But the heart of Loucon remains the good news of God's love, lived out among our neighbors. We are grateful to be a part of the Kentucky Annual Conference as we walk this road together.
There's just so many amazing things to look at. And, I'd never trade it for anything else.